I'm Rob.
And I'm Matt.
And this is the Form Review by Barefoot Gaming. Okay, so Form, what is it? Matthew?
It's essentially a puzzle game. It puts you in light and dark rooms, and you just have to solve these puzzles that it puts in front of you.
But this game really does. It likes to put you somewhere really bright and really dark.
There's really not a middle ground for it. It either blinds you right in the face, or it puts it so dark you're trying to kind of move stuff around to try and see the little bit of light that it does give you.
And then there are puzzles in between, and that's the part where it's kind of it's broken up into a bunch of different puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some of the puzzles would be
you're playing a violin to try and line up certain sounds, or you're putting these certain puzzle pieces into specific orders to try and get to the next part of the level.
Yeah, or you're spinning a tube to try to get the lights to line up.
Mm.
I kind of found none of the puzzles are very difficult.
Right.
I found the most difficult aspect of it was to figure out what it was it wanted you to do.
Yeah. I really felt like he was saying, the puzzles are pretty simple, and I'd like a game that would maybe make it more difficult for me to kind of figure out how to solve it, because it feels like this game kind of spoon feeds you the way to get the answer, and then once you have that, you can just kind of fly through it. So it only takes like 2 minutes to figure out, oh, this is what I have to look for, and then you go through it, and I'd like it to be a little bit harder.
And I get their logic. I understand they don't want people to get frustrated, but the entire length, we beat this in under an hour.
Yeah.
And I don't really see a lot of replayability here. It would be fine if you want to pass it to someone else and say, hey, you want to spend an hour playing little puzzle games and stuff? It's polished. The lights are very pretty. The effects are neat. It looks maybe kind of sci-fi trippy-ish at times.
Yep.
But it's $21.99. And this is where the review part's actually going to kick in. All right? So how many glowy little bright lady things out of 5 would you give this, Matthew, and why?
I'd probably give it around a 2 out of 5. There's not much to the game. For the price being $21.99, it doesn't give me enough to justify that price. Maybe if it was like $5 to $10 in that round, maybe, but still, only an hour of gameplay. I just can't see myself playing it again.
Yeah, see, and I look at this as if this would have been one of the first games that came out in VR. When we were really starving for any content, this would have been mind-bending and blowing and yada, yada, yada. But if I look at something like I Expect You to Die, which is an awesome game, by the way, set up with a bunch of puzzles, I can't even begin to compare. And if the developers are watching, and they frequently are, I'm sorry in advance, but I give this a 1 out of 5. I give it a 1 out of 5 because when I finished the game, I just kind of thought, well, I just spent an hour puzzling with little things. And it didn't leave me smiling, it didn't leave me any kind of emotion.
It didn't really feel like you accomplished that much. Like, even the cutscene itself, we didn't even realize that the game was ending during that cutscene night. I want to feel like I actually did something to get to the end of the game.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like it.
I think that's a really valid point. It never really gave us a reward feeling. It just felt like, oh, we finished another puzzle, now what do we touch and pull at to make the next puzzle come out? That's it.
Yeah.
That's the review for Form by
Barefoot Gaming.
Thank you so much. We'll talk to you again real soon. See ya.
Yeah.